tuned in and I was like, oh my gosh, is that really happening? Do I really see three lights? And I was looking at their health bar, and oh, yep, there were three lights running.
I'm
Not
willing
sure
to
who
bet
that
they
was,
didn't make
but
it through. That's my that's my thought.
but even if
You
they
know,
didn't, I commend them for trying because that was cool to tune in. I didn't have much time to watch yesterday, but it was cool to just see that and be like, "What? Are my eyes deceiving me?" But no, they were doing it. So I am sure that today we will see. It was apparently no idea. Wow. Okay.
what? Hang
So,
on.
yeah.
No, okay, right. So this is what I did my research. This is my moment where
Mm.
I sort of shoved the blame onto the players instead, which is a really good thing to do. I hear players love that. I couldn't find any of their streams. No idea. I couldn't find out who was even playing for no idea.
Mm.
And they just didn't pop up when I was doing my trawling. So yeah, they're the one empty spot. If they're running all light today, then power to them. I want to see it. But let's have a
Yeah.
look. We are straight in now with our first round of cash out. Four teams, utter
Yeah.
chaos. Let's try. Let's do our best, Rio.
Are they on? This is three lights right now.
This is
No
this is
idea.
them. Fantastic.
Yeah. Mr. Derp, Acoustic, and Varak.
Acoustic's already dead. That's the light experience, folks. All right. But we do see him running, a pretty meaty loadout with the double barrel shotgun, stun, sonars, interestingly, and the glitch. I do love running sonars on light. I feel like it lends so much value. You want at least one person on your team running them. The Overwatch here on
Yeah.
top of the purple team, blue having tapped the vault, of course, being made up of all these lights. And it's NTHX facing up against the red team on the other side of things right now, inside the hospital. But well,
Nolly goes down.
Nolly goes down, and now purple team, they are making their way over. This is Lamp Brandy and Green Space. They are Holto's finest. You may know of them. They're a very good side. They have gone 1-1. Obviously, all the teams playing today are 1-1. They've won one, lost one. That's why they're here. They've got to win one more. The Holto's finest lost their most recent cash out, so a bit of a dicey situation for them, if you ask me. I feel like they're going to struggle today.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Not only that, but I mean, it's amazing that NTHX is already down. Like, I know they're respawned now, but immediately right off the bat, we saw them just kind of go into a team fight and one after the other just kind of go down. It does look like Cash Out A has gotten started by, I believe, No Idea. Nope, they're actually going for the steal. No Idea is going to grab, getting their team set up. The lights are so low with their health that they can only take one shot, and you see that happen. They get shot and then they immediately pull away. I'm not sure who they're being pursued by at the moment, but they are getting charged at. Looks like one of them went down. NTHX is doing their best to rise their team and just running around trying to get some distance on everybody.
Yeah, they are engaging right now with No Idea, managing to take down one at the very least. Another sort of scouting around. They don't know where he is. There we go. They find it, and that is the wipe on No Idea. It's a very nice hold, but they do have to steal here. Looks like they would be uncontested, as it seems as though is it Holto's finest are attacking the other site right now? No, they're not. There was a bit of a steal going on. That was confusing me. And we're back in here with a 3 versus 3 Sonso, taking a lot of damage there. Rippy as well. They back away. The domes come out. No winches. This is worth mentioning as well in this engagement. There's so much to catch up on. Yeah, winches are out. Winches are out. That's public service announcement for everyone. We've got no winches in this fight, in these games right now. We've got charging slams. We've got mesh shields. Be very surprised to see. What's the other specialization that no one ever uses? Goo gun. Be very surprised to see that. But
Yeah, I'd actually forgot that because I haven't used the Goo Gun in seasons.
yeah, it's been a while. Either way, it looks like Holter's Finest are pretty secure with their first catch out, and they're going to contest this one as well to try and see if they can get 2 in 1. Out comes Defib to get Lamp back up, but it looks like they maybe missed the opportunity to engage with the element of surprise on their side at the very least.
Yeah, and it does seem like Cash Out A is the cash out everybody's fighting over. There are definitely 3 teams here at the moment, and it is just kind of chaos on
Another
this one
wipe,
point.
by the way, on No Idea. They're not faring well.
You know, I'm proud that they're trying. I mean, because there is so much you can do with 3 lights. The amount of utility you have. You mentioned earlier, like the sonar grenade, and just having so much ability through 3 different lights is just utility is amazing. So if they are able to do it, you know, they might be able to sneak in and grab it, but they just can't steal a point successfully when you have 3 teams going after you. Not enough damage you can take. You see the bubble shield going down from Noli. They're trying to make some distance on themselves and holding back Oh, winches are banned from this map. That would be why we're not seeing it.
Yep, that's what I'm
So
saying.
yeah, I guess I missed that discussion, but apparently they're banned. I'm sure that there's some good reasons behind it. God, look at this. One after another. People are just going down. We have a team wipe on, I believe, Alpha's Finest. Might have been
Correct.
NTHX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all of that chaos as well, we did see the cash out go down a while ago, maybe about 30 seconds ago, for Ape Squad. So that is Ape Squad in purple that have just been wiped, losing a small portion of their money. Of course, with the changes to cash out recently, those wipes aren't nearly as punishing as they used to be. There's a lot more incentive to go for those fights. In comes the battle on D. It looks as though Pink Team have plugged it. That is NTHX Esports, but they're going to come into contention with Purple. That is Holto's Finest coming in, but no, it looks as though Holto's Finest has done quite well there to clear the area, and they are going to get this steal.
Yeah, and D is such a good cash out because it's in this corner, and it's just hard to really kind of push into. I'm amazed that zip line is still up, but I bet you
we're going to see a double
down
dip
here soon.
Oh god.
Oh, wow.
If we thought it wasn't chaotic before, it's about to get a hell of a lot more chaotic now, as all four teams are going to be fighting over this 20k cash out. You can already see Pink and Purple going gung-ho at it already, but you know, this is a situation where you don't necessarily want to be one of those first two teams in the mix. My question right now is, where is Red? Where are Ape Squad? Are they going to be fourth partying it? Here they come.
You know what I love? There's the bounce pad down there, and you can see continually everybody's using it. Just trying to get that height advantage. When there is so many people in there, just getting away and out of the line of sight just for a second can really help. So I think it's interesting to see everybody utilizing just one bounce pad that some team put down. But we do see the fight happening. It is just utter chaos. We're halfway through the cash out, and more bounce pads going up. Yeah, because you just need that verticality. And you see that happening right now with Sonya. He's running up, just trying to get pop shots off. Goes for the healing. Great switch back and forth. Great shots with the shotgun.
Oh, he's fully committing it.
Them.
He's not quite made it. He will get the final
Oh,
shot
look
onto
at that
green space.
mid-air kill.
Very tasty. He's going for another again. They're playing with this
come on, so you
mega pad right now.
Look at that.
But they've got the Riz, and the problem is all of this is just delay. And despite the fact that Purple Team, that is Holto's Finest, have been off the point, fending for themselves for so long, it's been chaos on the point anyway, as Pink and Blue can't get a big enough bite of each other. Purple have kept hold of this cash out throughout all of that, and it looks like they're going to see it through, not a single steal. And that is just what happens sometimes when you have these double dips. There's just too much chaos to stick a steal, and Holto's Finest will be laughing about that one.
That was really impressive, and you know what? I'm seeing how much chaos is going on. I want more.
Yes.
Give me more double dips. Keep it going, because that was cool. And just you can see the tactics that people were trying to employ, even with just the amount of chaos going on. And I think that's what makes these players so skilled, is that they can adapt. And then sometimes you can't adapt, because there's just too much going on. Everything was blowing up and just destruction. So, cool to see. We see that vaults 3 and 4 are being open now. It might be 4 and 5.
5 and 6, I believe.
5 and 6, oh.
6 has been
People learn how to count.
6 has been tapped and just being guarded now by Holto's Finest. All they really need to do is keep hold of that, and they guarantee themselves at least a second place finish. But that means that we're going to keep track of 5 right now, because everyone's fighting over that. Everyone wants a slice of that pie right now, and at the moment it is Red Team, it is Ape Squad that are holding on to it. Now I have to confess to something. At some point today, or during these 5 rounds, I may say the word salmon when I'm talking about Red Team. That's just because I started playing and we called it Salmon Team, and it's just stuck. All of my friends call it Salmon. It's not really red, but here comes Salmon right now to steal the cash out that our triple light team did put in. But you know, they just don't have the staying power, and this is what I mean. They're really going to struggle today, no idea, if they stick with this triple light setup.
There's the crane going down, and I love that somebody's still in there trying to just struggle to hold on. Because if you can't stay up there and it doesn't crash like it is, you know, it's still a good vantage point, but now there's no way to get up there. So we have a crane mid-area, which I love. And can't see, but it looked like somebody just got a great kill with a charge and slam.
Triple lights might be in a good... Triple Lights might be in a good position to third party this, to be fair. They are close.
One of our teams is running the 3 Chefs outfit, which I think is a wonderful matchup.
Oh,
wonderful uniform for your team.
That was a
great shot from Bringy.
I like that we just randomly flip over to Purple Team and catch a very nice mid-air shot from from Brendy. Yeah, that's tasty. They look like they're wanting to get an even bigger slice. You know, obviously the points do matter. So going into the final steal on this point. If Pink keep hold of this, then Purple don't need to worry about it. But if either Red or Blue take hold of this final cash out, then they will finish in first place most likely. So that is something that Purple team have to be wary of and have to try and play for kills, or maybe play for the last minute steal, depending on what's going on. Some great kills going on here by NTHX. They are commanding this corner of construction. And oh, what a mid-air shot! That is difficult with the KS-23. The slug shotgun at range, and he catches him. Tasty.
Wow, yeah, that was an amazing shot. And it is a slug, like you said, so it doesn't have a spread, but it does have a really fine part. Whoa, look at that charge and slam. That was wonderful. He did go down in the process, but he did get a good trade. Looks like NTHX are now setting up on the point. I think they just have to defend it. They're not gonna...
Yeah, Salmon really needs to come in here with a last-minute steal to get any value, and it looks like they're going down. Brendy going in big because he knows that his death won't mean anything if he dies here. Round is over. Very commanding round there from Hull Clue's finest. Really, that second cash out with the double dip just gave them so much comfort, so much control over the game, and they finished in that first place.
Yeah, really commanding too at the very end. I'm glad they were able to kind of pop in there and get that last cash out. And I believe that they were the ones that also got the double cash out, the 20,000.
Exactly.
So yeah, it just shows kind of their staying power and their performance. And hey, we even get replays now. That's awesome.
Beautiful.
We can see some of these shotgun kills because Brindy was doing it, and I forget who else was kind of mastering the shotgun. I think that was Nolby, maybe. So the mid-air shotgun shots.
That was indeed
shotguns are dominating.
Well remembered, and that was like the slug shotgun as well. The KS-23 just has so much power. You're going to see a different array of weaponry as well when it comes to cash out, because there's some that are really good in these kind of skirmishes that you don't really get in the 3v3 environment. So I'm excited, and it's cool to, you know, for instance, even see the triple light. And I said they were struggling, but look at this point, right up until the very final cash out, they were in it to win it. They had the second place potential, and they do come out of this with a third place finish on the round. Not much better than fourth. So just to sort of, we will get the scoreboard up at some point soon, and we'll get to talk through the points. If you're wondering why it's looking a bit fraggy as well, you get points for kills too. So it's going to be a bit kind of there's a lot of maths going on in the background, and we'll just kind of have to digest it as we go along. But ultimately, you're still playing to win. You're still playing cash out. You still want to be top of that leaderboard, of that cash pile at the end of the game.
Yeah, and you're right, and that's an interesting point to point out, that we will see more players playing more aggressive, and we did see that with him being chased down with the shotgun, going on the super pad, and just getting more kills in midair. Teams are playing more aggressive because there's just more out there, and on top of it, you know, we did have a rule change recently where you don't lose a ton. I think you lose 10% of your overall earnings when your team gets wiped, so that's down from, I believe it was 30% before. So there's a drastic difference, and it allows you to kind of be more aggressive and get more, you know, kind of just in the other team's face, because hey, you get wiped and you come back, and 10% isn't a ton. It can make a difference, but it is definitely, it definitely makes a change in what we're seeing versus the last time we did this Swiss bracket.
Absolutely does. So, Sys Horizon now on the docket, Rio. A very different map from Seoul. We do still have a lot of those long-range engagements. I'm quite happy that we got to see a Seoul with the construction variant, because I feel like that's probably the most interesting and most competitive version of the map that we get to see. Sys Horizon, though, no modifiers as of yet. So it's going to be very much, you know, you get what you expect.
Yeah, and I personally love Sys Horizon. I think that it's a really cool map. I think that it looks visually stunning at places, and I think that there's a lot of like variability in the gameplay that you can see. I don't play it a ton in this format, this kind of Swiss cash out version. I'm more of a quick cash player, so it is interesting to see kind of 4 teams versus the 3 that I'm used to seeing. Kind of get into this map, because it is a little bit more spread out than some maps. So some of the fights are a little less located close to each other. So we will probably see less of the double dip or the stacking that we saw in this last map. But who knows? We did get one, and we might get one again. I'd love to see it.
So interesting here, we get to see that the placement pretty much determining the leaderboard here at the end of the round, except for that 3rd and 4th spot. Ape Squad garnering more kill points, so they got a total of at least 6 more kills than No Idea, or well, at least 4, but, you know, taking them on to the 7 points for kill points. So they do end up at that 1 total point ahead of No Idea, despite the fact that maybe you expect No Idea being lights to be a bit more fraggy, potentially, have that possibility. They finish with more cash, but fewer points on the scoreboard. So we will keep track of that. Holto's Finest, of course, right up the top after that, well, round-defining double dip, like we've mentioned.
Yep, absolutely. It is cool to see that the Holto's Finest and THX are tied. You know, even though their kill points and placement points and cash out were all a little bit different, they are still tied. So a lot of variation that's going to happen today, and we still have several more matches to determine where this goes.
We absolutely do, and we'll be keeping track of these ranks, how they change as well throughout the course of these 5 cash-out rounds. Were there any players that stood out to you during that particular map, Rio? There was, you know, we got to see some flashy plays from particularly the top 2 squads, if I sort of cast my mind back.
Yeah, getting Ape Squad in there, and then Sonya was just destroying with that shotgun. They were the ones that were chasing everybody down, and I think I was counting it. I think they got like 6 or 7 shots off without missing. So to me, that's just impressive in its own, and just kind of cool to see, you know, how I play versus how somebody that really puts a lot of time in on the shotgun can play. So that was cool for me to see. What about you? Anybody stand out?
I've got to say, Noli impressed me with that one KS-23 shot in midair, so I'll be looking out for him. I'm a big fan of the KS-23. I say that I can't use it myself.
No, me either.
I stack with the heavy, who is insane with it, and it's just very entertaining to watch and be part of.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it takes a lot of skill, so props to it. Here we go. Straight to the action here is
immediately
Pink and Purple getting in on each other, and I just want to kind of do my due diligence and check that the teams are sort of still in the right colours. If they are mixed up, then that's going to throw me really off. Pink is at the moment, yeah, they've all swapped round. God damn it! All right, time to rub out what I've written down and try to map it out again. Give me a minute.
All right. Well, we do see cash out 1. I bet you that they're going to take it to B. They see a jump pad placed down, so it's going to get them most of the distance. Oh, no, they actually didn't go for the jump pad. They put up a zip line.
Nice.
I do think zip lines are a little bit better than jump pads, but that's my own opinion. And we do see the other cash out with A getting started as well. It's already maybe a quarter of the way done. Mr. Derp, and they are still running, No Idea, still running 3 lights. So they're committed. I don't know what's changed in their strategy in the back end, but hey, you know, I'm all for it. They are playing a little slower right now, a little slow advance. We see one fight starting to happen. Mr. Derp takes about half health, but he immediately gets back together with his team, and THX is on top of them, shooting pretty far away with those shotguns to the purple team, which I'm not sure who it is just yet.
Ape Squad, I've worked it out.
By
process of elimination. I've managed to get them all down. So right now we are watching blue team. That is NTHX, obviously the most helpfully named team because they've got their tags in their name. But they are waiting to try and get this third party on the cash out A, which is currently being battled between. The stun comes out from No Idea as they are guarding this, and the problem is they
didn't capitalize on that. That was a sad little zap.
Yeah, I
no
mean,
fight.
There's a lot of people guarding it is the problem, and it has been stolen successfully, and it looks like No Idea got wiped in the process as well. But here comes NTHX trying to double down, get that third party on the purple team, but they are being taken out as well. Floppy and Carbon Mac are not in enough contention here. They are not directly supporting their teammate. Bit too split up, and that will probably result in a team fight win for purple. There we have it. That is Ape Squad guarding this cash out resolutely from 2 different squads. In the meantime, pink team, who's that? Holto's Finest. You know, they got a freebie over on B going right now.
Yeah, he's just uncontested. They're just sitting there waiting. It does look like they are detected, so somebody is close by. But,
well, that's going to be No Idea.
They have enough
right?
time. yeah.
The only ones with sonar grenades. And there we are. Very well prepared with the jump pad, making it very difficult to steal from any position, really. That's going to be bouncing for a good 30 seconds at least.
Yeah, they've got it.
Down go all the lights again. It's a really tough one. They may get the kills that keep them in contention, but there is also the point to make that a lot of teams are getting frags on them very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's going to push them further up the standings.
I just don't understand why they're running 3. Like, I would understand maybe 2 and a heavy, or 2 and a medium, you know, just something to kind of anchor your team together. But when you're running 3, it's just so... Everybody's plays so sporadically. Like, having lights kind of work in one in unison is not something I really see often. Now, it could be the difference now that we're seeing, you know, high-level players, but at the same time, you still struggle with the same, you know, things that you would with a normal team. So
I think the other thing is they're kind of playing it a little bit wrong, if you ask me. Like, they committed there to try and get a last-minute steal against an established team defending. That's not where you're getting your points for the light team. You need to be heading to the vaults, getting those plugs, using your mobility, your gateways, everything to get the plugs and get the plug money, and then play around that. Defending is a lot easier as a team of 3 lights than attacking, if you ask me. So they're not leading into their squad's strengths here, and that is causing them problems beyond the fact that they are also good at set of lights. Here we go to an engagement right now as blue team are getting it smothered right now by NCHX. A missed defib as it doesn't quite connect there, but really matters too much. They do all remount the stairs. Down they go. This is, again, that, well, KS23 not quite doing the damage in the final fight there, but enough to defend the point, and they're not under any contention from a third party, so they'll be very happy with that fight.
Yeah, and that was just shotgun versus shotgun on the stairs. I think that there were 3 shotguns versus 1 player with shotgun on the stairs. So that was kind of cool to see. It's interesting that shotgun is the meta. We've moved away kind of from the F-car. We still see some people really kind of dedicated to it, but you just get so much stopping power with that shotgun. And we do see the fight going on at C. Lots of reses. Rippy is trying to get healed back up. He's the one heavy player. Chasing down one of light, and yep, there goes Mr. Derp, deleted in probably about 2 seconds. And another shotgun kill. Nope, almost. Rippy's just trying to stay alive. Oh, wow, he actually gets downed by Rack's shotgun. Little unexpected. I was expecting, no idea to get completely wiped right there.
Do hold on.
The steal on C.
These are very close cash outs as well. It must be mentioned. C is in the same building as C, and it will be finished momentarily, leaving with, well, leaving the 3 lights to defend against the entirety of the rest of these squads. But some very nice shotgun work being done here by Vrake, and he might even finish off the last. He does get the last, but not before that final res comes through. The steal is going to be attempted here, and Vrake has the defense. I think they're going to make it here. They may well get 2 at once, and they absolutely do. They now need to rotate to defend their existing cash out, but they're trying to get the kills. Lamp going down, and how, I don't know, this is maybe we're being made to eat our words here right now. The people like to doing work. Yeah,
and you know, this is what can happen. It's just that it's so rare that it does happen. But hey, I love it. This is awesome, and you are right that this is a unique opportunity too, because both cash outs were so close to each other. And from my map knowledge of this map, that's the only place that this can happen. So they got lucky, and are they going to be able to hold it off? They did get the kill.
Wow, and that's going to add yet more points to their tally as well. They are climbing the leaderboards right now. And with only 2 minutes left, they'll be firmly at the top with that 31k score. They can quite... I don't think it's too... I don't think it's late enough in the game for them to play keep away with the box, but it's definitely an option, especially as lights.
Yeah, I would definitely focus on just not dying at this time. You know, you can maybe pop in, and it's all going to depend on who gets these vaults in, or if both vaults go in. There's a lot of variation that could happen just right now. It does look like most of the teams are starting to head towards Vault 6. One of the cash outs does get started.
Yeah, it's a bit of a race.
We have low gravity.
Low gravity is fun. Oh, okay. Oh, no, never mind. It's not in yet. There we go. I was expecting a much bigger jump.
Yeah, him to shoot into the air.
Yeah. Alright, here we go. So, Purple are going round to try and contest Vault 6 right now and get that in B. They have enough time to do it potentially, but the gateway is set up, and oh, it's going. They've taken it to the corner. That's very smart play there. So, yeah, Box 6 being taken by the Big Splash. I say the Big Splash, of course. It is no idea to that corner, but NTHX have taken hold of it and they're moving it. Great shot there from Mr. Derp to take out Carbon Magma. I was about to say Carbonara there. And they are chasing down NTHX, who've been wiped successfully. So, how the mighty have fallen. Second place after the last game, but they are really just... I don't think they have a chance in hell of coming off that bottom spot now.
No, I don't think so either. And I think that there's still enough time in here that I believe that this Vault 6 will get started into B. I think that they tried their best to kind of keep it away and make this cash out not happen. But I think that No Idea kind of pushed themselves, pun intended, into a corner. And now they're kind of trying to fight out.
That's going to be a really quick cash out timer. There are only 40 seconds left, basically, on B. A being plugged already successfully by Holto's finest, and it doesn't look like anyone's willing to go after them. This jump pad causing problems for the mobility of NTHX as low gravity wastes a good 5 or 6 seconds there for them. Heading for the commit to B. They want to wait until the last possible moment, but don't be deceived by that wheel. There are only 21 seconds left. They have to get moving right about now.
Well, there's actually a minute that was added.
Oh yeah, okay, that's out.
Yeah,
I forget how the timer works sometimes in cash out, and it's different. But they got a minute to work with, and everyone's going to be heading to B right now. A white on purple team. That is Ape Squad out of the running. Great shot there by the lights, and it looks as though once again the triple lights of No Idea are going to climb to the top as they get the steal on B. And it's really only Pink in contention with them, Holto's finest, but they might just want to sit back and hold on to second place, play it safe. They're sending one person to try and go for the last second steal, but I think the rest of them are playing it safe. He knows that his days are numbered. In fact, here come the rest of the teams to try and cause a bit of chaos, but I think at this point, it's pretty safe to say that No Idea probably have this. They do have all of their players up and ready to guard it, but they're being caught in a load of crossfires here, and they have been wiped. A last second steal is not on the cards though, as there's no one contesting it, and they will propel themselves from last place in the last round to first place here.
What a mix-up. We literally ate our words. Like,
we really did.
And I think that this is going to go down as the first team to run 3 lights successfully. I mean, they obviously did it yesterday and won one, but today they've done it again. So, wow.
Yeah, they did win their second cash out round against Ape Squad, Sky Gods, and Quattro Squad in the second elimination. Sorry, the second stage of Swish yesterday. So they've been steadily improving. And they are playing right now against 2 of the teams that they played in the first round in Holto's finest and ATHX, but they certainly stepped it up here. Maybe it's just Ape Squad throwing in another monkey wrench into the works that's helping them out. But however it's working, they've done well on this second map. It's consistency that's always the question with light squads, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think that part of it is the map. It's very map dependent. This map is really kind of, I don't know, more geared towards lights because there's less like wide open areas that you have to go through. A lot of it's kind of a lot of the combat, even as we're seeing right now, happens inside of buildings, and here's this one alleyway in the back, but most of it, I want to say 60% plus, it happens inside of areas like buildings. So it makes it where you are a light. You can get in and then you can jump out of a window or a doorway and kind of get yourself a little bit of more room. And I think that's what they're doing. I need to go back and watch these matches again just to see really what they've done. But yeah, well done, No Idea. That was quite a fun match to watch. And I do want to point out, like earlier, how I was saying that the spawns are a little different, so we didn't see any double dipping happening on this map. And I think it makes sense because the cash outs were spawned minus that one really far away from each other. So just an interesting map to see. Really kind of fun, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Now we can see right here, this is the scoreboard for that second game, and of course it played out exactly how we expected there. No Idea right at the top, and you can see the placement as well, reflective of where everyone finished there. The kills not feeding in too much to the overall standings there, just pretty evenly spread, 6, 4, 5, not much of a spread there in kill points in general. So this should impact the overall leaderboard quite substantially, because it's almost a complete reverse of what we had last time. NTHX came second last time, they are now bottom. No Idea came fourth last time, and now they have finished this one top. So this should really even things out once we get to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing to see the point totals after that match. Just kind of, Yeah, there's the official point totals, and wow, they're actually really pretty close. No idea brought themselves up from quite a deficit, so well done. Halter's Finest is following just short by 1 point. NTHX is back by 2 points, and Ape Squad down by 3. So the spread is really tight here. I'm impressed with all of our teams so far, and it does look like our next map will be Las Vegas, so we'll get to see these teams go up again once more.
Ape Squad are the only team yet to place in the top 2 so far across both of these games, so we'll have to keep an eye on them and how they're performing throughout. But even with that said, out of all of the sets of cash out 5-round cash outs that we've had so far this week, so this is shaping up to be the closest, and that is exactly what you'd expect, right? You know, we've got the best teams of pushing 32-2-3. They've gone through already. We've filtered out some of the lesser teams, Sky Gods and Quattro Squad, unfortunately dipping out, going 0-2 after those 2 rounds of Swiss. So now we're left with a really tight, compact group with some nice, healthy competition, and I hope that it really is down to that final game.
I almost guarantee it'll go down to it, because every single team that we've seen here, I know most of them, and they all have the potential to do exactly what No Idea just did. Like, they have the potential to just kind of completely upset the entire match and blow our expectations away. So it's just kind of like you said, it is these teams that you've grown to expect this from, and that's what I love about this the series right now, is that we are getting to see these teams go up against each other in different formats, in different ways, and that competitive nature is just there. You see these players play, and you just see that they know each other, and they've fought each other before, and there's even some rivalries happening, and I love it. I think it's cool to see this develop.
So it is worth mentioning as well, so far we have these are the class pick rates that we saw at the start of the day, but of course now slightly different. We can see that light percentage has gone up ever so slightly. It's been inflated by the presence of triple light in these 2 games, so it's interesting to see that. I just want to touch on the fact that we're jumping between maps here. Of course, we're going through every single map in the pool, which is every map available in the game besides Kyoto. And next up, we will be having Vegas. And while we're jumping between maps, we're also jumping across the pond. So last map we had just spent on the EU servers, and now we're back on NA. I believe out of this bunch, NTHX are French squad. I think the rest are NA based. I'm not entirely certain on that, but that could definitely be impacting some of the plays that we see. For instance, NTHX seemingly struggling a little bit more on Sys Horizon.
Yeah, no, that is good to point out, because NTHX is normally such a powerhouse that I'm actually surprised that they're even in this bracket. I'm surprised that they didn't qualify yesterday. So it could be that they are kind of struggling just a little bit today because of the ping. Oh, and we have the sand variation of Vegas.
Okay, this would be interesting for the Triple Light squad. Again, lots of open areas caused by this, but in a similar way to it feels a lot like Sys Horizon, really. I feel like when you get sand on this map, because there's a lot of open areas, but also those kind of doorways and places that you can duck in and out of. Sometimes I favour the Light squad. Either way, we're in the thick of things right now. The first 2 votes have been tapped. We have purple versus blue here. NTHX looking like they have gone down. Was that what happened there? Have I lost my train of thought? Possibly. Purple and blue, both wiped though.
Yeah, not sure who the teams correspond to just yet, but we will figure it out.
We'll get there.
And either way, Vrak is running towards B. B is getting started. Going a little bit away from B. I'm not sure what his plan is here.
Looks like he just wants to get a bit of recon done. This is a nice building for it, especially if you're playing in that corner of the map. You can see exactly what's going on in almost every other corner from the top of this tower here. And yeah, this is the all-light squad of No Idea playing in pink now. And they've got that first plug, as have purple, who I can't quite make out based on the screen. Who is that in purple? The plug. All of their names are so bunched together.
I know, I can't tell.
We'll get
all
it
on top of each other.
We'll get it eventually.
The catch on B is going down pretty quick. Not a lot of fighting is happening. Everybody is pretty spread out at this time. I'm curious why they're taking a slower approach. Last map we just saw a lot of confrontation just happening immediately. This time every team's getting their own chance to set up. We do see the D-mat going down, breaking open, throws a nade in, but it isn't enough to stop NTHX.
That's so cheeky. The DMAT play working really nicely up against Pink's No Idea. And I've just realised, I think, do No Idea have a heavy now? Did I just spot a heavy on their team? Have they mixed things up? Either way, the Red Squad are coming in right now to cause some problems for Break. Oh no, sorry, Break, they're in pink. I'm just losing my mind. I'm losing my marbles here. This is cash out.
Sorry, it's a lot.
It's a lot to take in. Do bear with us. But you know, just enjoy it as well. It looks as though that steal has now been compounded by another steal here as Red Team, Spoons, Soso, and Rippy. That is Ape Squad. Have taken control of something, and they really need to be taking control of these games because they are the ones sat at the bottom of the leaderboard right now.
Yeah, and I think that they will be able to get. Did they just take B? Or is that what happened?
Yep.
I believe so. Okay, cool. So yeah, they're in a good position to kind of bring themselves back. But it does look like who's that? THX kind of coming on top, but I don't know if they'll have enough time. I think B will go down. There's the D-match play. Oh, they're going to go for the steal. THX running in, throwing
again.
yes.
Oh, but they get
he gets
booted
pushed off
it.
by the charge.
And that should be enough to secure the point for the Red Team of Ape Squad. So, some early money there for the Red Team, but they have been wiped in the process. And now, a bit of a skirmish here as the leftover teams, Pink and Purple, are going at each other. It looks like that is Holto's Finest who come out on top. Everybody is dead, and Holto's Finest get their choice of vault to head for. How lovely.
Yeah, that was amazing because that cash out went from like nothing happening to just everybody just exploding onto it. I thought that was really cool. 3 teams just kind of converging on one. And there's Lamp with the always wonderful cat noise. I use it extensively every time I play.
It's a very fun noise. I do love it.
No, absolutely.
The Holto's Finest have been very good at game management so far. That's the second time in these matches that we've seen them just head to the right corner of the map and get that cash out for free at the very start. They were completely uncontested. Now they are ahead as they swept in at the end and gained a lot of kills as well. Ahead by quite a lot, and of course the kill points will rack up in the leaderboard at the end. So they are in the most commanding position right now with Ape Squad close behind.
Yeah, and you're right, they really have had a lot of good management so far in this game. Interestingly enough, we are seeing kind of a fight over Vault 3. It does look like, Holto's Finest is able to get in and out of there. Looks like B will get started, C has just gotten started as well. 2 teams attacking each side, so it really kind of is anybody's cash out at this point for each side.
We'll stick with D for the time being, which has been plugged by the Pink team, funnily enough. So that is no idea that they managed to get that in. And they are indeed playing with that 1 heavy, it looks like. So an interesting mix-up, just to give them a bit more security. In fact, they've gone HML. They've gone HML. Sonsoyo is on medium, and we've got some semblance of normality here amongst No Idea. Maybe it's a response to how teams are playing, or it could be, you know, just this map, as Stars tells us, I'm going here. That's good to know. Thank you, Stars. I just see that pop up on the screen. Thank you.
Yeah, and we do see NTHX kind of stuck behind this bar. They were definitely waiting for Noli to wait until he can respawn, going back in. And it does look like they're starting their advance to D. They should have plenty of time to get in here, and I'm not sure how they're going to do it. They might try and blow it up from below, but it does look like another team is heading towards D. Or is this No Idea and they're just kind of away from it?
Why
they are just away from it. So.
I can't keep track. They are AAA. I'm losing my marbles. I am absolutely losing my marbles. They are on AAA. Ignore me.
Yeah, I got a feeling that they're going to stick with that this whole tournament.
Yeah.
And you know, more power to them, because I think it's fun. But there we go. NTHX, they did go through the top of this parking garage, and they're still taking it really slow to get onto D. They do have plenty of time, but D is way up there, kind of in not the best spot in my opinion. I think that it's a really open and a kind of exposed area, so they're going to have to push in. We do see. Not sure who
it is. A tough one. Holto's Finest underneath.
Holto's Finest.
Rippy coming in as well as they're guarding C from range. They're just sending in their heavy to cause some chaos. In fact, maybe try and get the steal if he's lucky enough, but no, he just baits it. And down goes the cash out. That could make it slightly easier for the HMM comp to try and contest this in the last few seconds, but in come NTHX as well, the blue team looking to cause chaos in the last few seconds. I don't think anyone's going to get hold of this because there's going to be too much going on.
Wow,
and ultimately, the victors at the end of the day are going to be the Pink Squad of No Idea. If they can stop this at the very least, doesn't look like they can. Just in time! The final hit comes on. Wow, that was too close for comfort there. Triple
and that was honestly an amazing. Yeah, That was an amazing play from NTHX, and I'm sad that it didn't work out for them because I think it was Noli came in there and threw that rocket RPG down, got several kills, and then was going for the steal as he was being healed, and he came down to like half a second left. Like it was so close. But yeah, well, the triple lights are on top. I don't know what they're doing, how they're doing it, but man.
Teach me. Teach us, Senpai. This is so impressive. Okay, we have red and pink having tapped these vaults. NTHX chasing this game right now from last position. They need to get hold of 6. They need to plug it in A as soon as possible, but I don't think that anyone's going to make it easy for them. They are chasing it down. It does look like, in fact, the red team are heading towards A. They don't want to hide this. They want to get it in and play it. So NTHX versus Ape Squad, it seems, over on Cash Out A for this final minute. Meanwhile, the other two teams on the other side will probably be going at it. But let's stay with these guys for the time being. Good shot there from Rippy. And oh no, is this a disconnect? A bit of lag. Unfortunate lag for Floppy, and that is really not the right time for it to be happening. In fact, this could be Observer's side. No, it's definitely his side. That is really unfortunate for Floppy. Noli left to try and pick up the pieces. Does actually deal a heck load of damage, and there's a TK or a self-TK there, as it doesn't work out for him in the end. The heavy comes sweeping in, and that should be a very comfortable objective now for that team. But in the meantime, Mr. Turp has pulled off a little bit of a heist there. The lights get it stolen and plugged into B, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like the rest of that team are in a good enough state to protect it, and it will get stolen back by the delivery service that is, of course, it was Purple Team. That is...
Yeah, but that was an amazing play because he zapped them and then immediately stole it and then shoved it in. And, you know, you get the... what percentages do you get? Is it like 15%?
It's about 30% rounded up or down.
Okay.
It's a pretty hefty total. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really smart play in my opinion. You know, they weren't able to keep it, and I don't even know if that's what they were going for. But yeah, cool to see. Nice little strategy that you can only do with a light player.
Yep. Very neat. And 55 seconds left with an alien invasion going on. And it's all to play for right now, as Cash Out A being held right now by Ape Squad. It looks like they're being contested soon. B is absolutely safe for Holto's Finest. They're going to be very happy with that. So it's all about Cash Out A right now and what's going down over there. NTHX looking to scramble and get over there as soon as possible. But Ape Squad, they just need to hold it for a little bit longer. And it looks like those connection issues are continuing to plague Floppy. He's disconnected from his team. That is so unfortunate. The timing, and you can't blame him for that. But in comes the powerhouses of Ape Squad. Ape Squad, in fact, going down to Lamp right now. And then will we get the steal? He may have enough time.
No time.
11 seconds left on the timer, but that's for B. And it looks as though he doesn't get a hold of it. So close. He will still finish in second place on the tally on the scoreboard. But a very, very tight round. NTHX really suffering, though.
Yeah, that was sad to see. You saw them push right on the point and get ready to kind of execute, and then they, connectivity issues. I don't know if it was just from Floppy or if it was anybody else. You definitely saw him just kind of stick, like, time out almost. I'm amazed that he didn't disconnect. But, going to the winner of that match, no idea. They did it again. So, 3 lights. Is this the comp now? Are we going to just see everybody running 3 lights? Is this all about to change?
It's working. That's the scary thing.
Right?
It's working. It's working in Cash Out specifically as well, right? In sort of the casual and ranked community, there is a bit of a thought process that light is feeling very strong right now. It thrives in the chaos. It's fraggy. It's cheeky. It manages to get those those cheeky plays, like getting the vault plugged, stealing someone that's carrying it, and just getting that extra bit of dough, which, at the end of the day, we had a really tight scoreboard at the end. That small play that we witnessed, the stun gun to just plug the box at the last second, that could have been a deciding factor overall. So again, no idea coming out on top. And we will have a look at the scoreboard once it's ready for us to see how that affects standings. But no idea. I expect it should be nice and in control at the very top right now.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, going back to what you just said, because I think you said something so perfectly that summed up lights. They thrive in the chaos, and
Mm.
you're right. Like that is their environment. That is where they do their best. So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out because that was really cool in my opinion. But yeah, I'd love to see the scoreboard because I think that No Idea have really just kind of secured themselves this game so far. I mean, we
Yeah.
still have two more to go, at least, and yeah, I don't know.
It,
This light is working.
it is
It's
working.
wild.
And Holto's Finest are having a pretty good day as well so far. You said you were surprised to see
Mm.
them in this bracket. I was as well. They
Yeah.
seem to be showing, they're if No Idea are the ones that are thriving in the chaos, Holto's Finest are taking the biggest advantage of that chaos by staying away from it, right? They're keeping themselves out of the chaos, being very optimized in terms of when they engage, how they engage, finding those objectives that are just going to be uncontested and safe
Yep.
spots for them. That being said, they did finish that game in the 3rd position. Interesting as well that because of the kills that Ape Squad
Yeah.
got during that game, No Idea being very low down on the kill count, which we didn't really, catch. They actually finished 2nd after that, so very tight scoreboard up at the top. And NTHX, yeah, like we saw, really suffering for those connection issues during that round.
I'm amazed that No Idea only got 2 kill points. It just means that they were playing more, I guess stealthily. I'm struggling to think of the right word, but like they definitely played it more conservatively,
Yeah.
and probably died a lot more. But at the end of the day, they were able to get the cash, and that's what matters. But in this format, not always. So that is really interesting to see, just from an analytics standpoint. That first isn't always first, which is yeah. But I don't think it'll impact No Idea too much. I think that we'll get the overall leaderboard here next, and I think that they'll still be on top, even with the 1 point discrepancy from Ape Squad.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
But Ape Squad have fought their way back into this. It's a little bit of a swap
Yeah.
there between Ape and NTHX, who really did suffer. And we were saying before that game, before Sys Horizon, they had only placed 3rd. So great for them to take that top spot by virtue of so many kills. You can see they are leading in the overall kill points across all 3 maps. So when it comes to frags, they are the ones doing the heavy lifting. But objective-wise, No Idea doing the best, and then Holto's Finest finding, a nice little middle ground in between those two. And I feel like that's going to see them through. But it really is just a question of, can NTHX turn it round, particularly when they get to visit their own servers, where they have a little bit more say in things, perhaps a little bit more control over how things go. Because it really, I hate to keep bringing it up, but it really was rough, particularly for Ploppy.
Yeah, well, and were they not on their own servers? I thought
that was an NA. That was an NA round.
That was an NA.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
man, dang, that's sad. But this next map will be on their turf, right?
Absolutely.
We are going back and forth. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get to see what it's going to be, and it looks as though it's going to be Seoul, in fact. So we're heading on back to Seoul for map 4 on EU, and this is No Idea's pick. So interesting that, because Seoul was the map that No Idea performed the worst on out of all 3 that we've seen so far, but perhaps it's just the best option amongst the remaining ones that they have, because Vegas and Sys Horizon are locked out, by the way. That's how it works, just to clarify.
Or they just kind of want to prove themselves again. Like they might have just found their steam. And like, hey, you know what? We screwed up on Seoul. Let's redeem ourselves. At least that's how I'd be thinking if I was in their shoes. So, who knows? That is an interesting choice. But I'd love to see it, and curious to see how they play. This one does seem like it's the harder map for lights. Like there are a lot of areas that you're just very exposed, and that make it where even if you're pushing as a team, one RPG in the wrong area, and your whole light team is down to low health. So yeah, I'm curious to see how they plan on working this one out.
It's worth mentioning that we are, of course, going to have a random map variation. We have no control over how those come out. So first time round we saw construction, and maybe that's just a part of it that didn't play into the lights. You have to hit those big jump pads coming in very exposed. Everyone sees you coming unless you're running in Viz. I think most of these guys were, but to the point, the fact that there was so much chaos, we saw double dips in the center of the map, and they just can't contend with the explosions that rain down upon them in those sort of environments. Here right now, it looks as though we have a standard map variant. I don't see any moving platforms, so it's a completely vanilla Seoul, and maybe that will help them out.
I think it's Rainstorm, but yeah.
Fair enough. Close enough.
A little bit of rain, can't really do much, doesn't change anything. You can still have the same visibility. There we go. Poppy is getting some great shotgun shells right off the bat. We do see the fighting happening all over Vault 2. I think there's even 3 teams here, because there's just a lot of chaos that's going on right over this one vault. Shark is saying going down.
And this is Ape Squad that they're fighting off against Purple, and it looks as though they have successfully wiped them as well. Meanwhile, Pink and Red doing the dirty business on the other side of things. Drake going down, and it looks as though this is Holto's finest in command in Pink, taking the hospital objective. That is huge for them. Once again, identifying that Vault number 1 and B are the strongholds, and the way that we should be playing is to control this game. This is Holto's finest to a team.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that they have just secured B. Nobody's going to go for B. The fighting is going to happen at A. Yeah, and we do see that happening already. We see the advance starting to happen on A. A is in such a vulnerable position, you can really drop it easily, and yeah, it is the spot to fight for. I could be wrong though, I might see some action happening over at B, but it does look like A is getting set up.
Looks as though, no, we've got
Yeah,
three teams coming in on A. This nice little long zip, great zip, will come in and cause some chaos. They haven't actually let themselves be known just yet. And there's the RPG. As it doesn't look like that engagement really didn't have any fangs on it, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah, his team wasn't with him to kind of capitalize off that RPG shot, and the RPG, it looked like it hit, but it only hit for about half health, when it can really do more if hit more directly. But we do see the jump pads going down. A is still kind of in the middle spot. Usually it's dropped all the way down, sometimes even below, into the building below it. But yeah, here we see No Idea kind of set up. They're in a good position, but boy, they still have to hold it for about half of the cash out.
Yeah, NTHX kind of got off lightly there, but they have taken a hit there as Carbon Magma is out to count. NTHX Noli as well is in a lot of pain here, but they do have this high ground advantage against the light. They have to land these shots. He doesn't quite get them, but does have the assist. And there we have it, the lights coming good and getting the wipe on NTHX. They might be able to get this steal now, but in come Holto, sorry, this is Ape Squad in purple coming in to try and secure it, but no, the steal does come through. This is just going to be a 3 versus 3 now to see who can get it. He goes straight in for the steal, right on top of them with the dome. I don't think there's much that the lights can do about this. They don't have the glitches ready.
Wow,
they don't have the
he
stun
got
out,
it.
and he's done that. What a heist. I don't know how Ape Squad have managed to pull that off. They got the wipe as well, as there go all of the lights. Wow. Snuffed out in an instant.
Wow, that was amazing. And as I predicted, nobody went for B because that is just a very difficult place to push. So it makes more sense that they all went for A. So Vault 3 and 4 will get spawned. NTHX is going to go for Vault 3. And I don't think they're going to be contested right away. So they should have a good minute to kind of set up, get ready for this, and take it hopefully wherever they want.
We're going to have to start putting some respect on the fragging power of Ape Squad there. That's what carried them through that. Really neat stuff. And you know, ahead, not in the round. You know, they are the purple squad. They are a little bit further behind. Holto's finest in pink. Who, you know, they haven't suffered the wipes against their name that have caused them problems, so they get that full cash out. But they, you know, they're going to be lacking in those kills, and that's something that Ape Squad are happy to try and play for. They want to play a little bit more aggressively, a little bit more chaotically, and in come Ape Squad as we're talking about them to try and catch 3 as it's on its way to D. And that's a meaty shot, but it is plugged successfully by NTHX.
Yeah, and we do see this is another cash out that's really easy to drop below. And oh, hold on, are they going to bring the double dip? Because I see 4 slowly working its way. No, it's going to make it to C. Okay, I was getting excited there for just a second.
Oh, does look like you know, that is Pink and Red, No Idea and Holto's Finest going up against each other. And I did see one of the lights on the side of No Idea take a bit of a beating there, because though once again Holto's Finest have a bit more control in that building with C safe and plugged. Meanwhile, we have purple and blue going at each other here, and it looks as though the steal has come through from the purple side of Ape Squad, but NTHX are up in full force and trying to contest it.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to get this steal here. They're getting pushed. We see the barricade going down. The APS is down as well, and Floppy is being healed. It does drop, and this is what I was trying to point out earlier, is that it's just so easy to keep dropping this cash out. And it did throw off their timing. I think most of NTHX is down. Yeah, I just see... no, I'm looking at Sony still.
Yes, so on Ape Squad is he's the last one remaining on Ape Squad. But in come the lights of No Idea. They've sensed an opportunity, and they're going for the steal on D, right under Ape Squad's noses. They've gone away with it there. Of course, Ape Squad, you know, down to just on Soyo, so they weren't able to recover in time. But now they only have to defend it for another, what, 30 seconds or so, if that?
Yeah, roughly.
all the while, by the way, Holto's Finest just getting, you know, a complete freebie over on C, as they always have been. No one wants to fight them.
Yeah, it's really interesting how this is playing out, because it is all the fighting happening over this one cash out. It's just kind of what happened in Seoul, sadly.
NTHX.
These cash outs.
NTHX have decided that they don't want that to be the script. They are coming in for C, they are making a play on it. Meanwhile, it looks as though D will be successfully held by the light squad of No Idea. We'll keep our eye on C right now, as they're just trying to pick their moment. In fact, this is right now Holto's Finest acting with defense in mind. They're going to spring the trap right now. They have to do it immediately. Why are they waiting? They're taking their time.
Yeah, they got it.
They missed the moment, and now they have to get this wipe here. But a money RPG and a slam to take them down. And it looks like that will be a successful wipe onto Holto's Finest. They have bottled it right here. And a good steal coming through for NTHX. This could be a turning point in their day.
Yeah, and that was an amazing charge and slam. That slam brought him down. Did a lot of damage. It was almost like an RPG. It's like an RPG for them. I don't know what just happened there, but NTHS got really lucky with the timing, because that shouldn't have been allowed.
Yeah.
We even saw the other team just set up, and they were waiting to pounce, but they didn't. I'm baffled. But we are getting down to the last 2 minutes. We see Vault 6 and 5 being spawned. I'm curious if we're going to start to see some, holding of it. But look at the cash scores. Like, nearly everybody is identical. And can we see the scoreboard? Here's to see the kill points.
That's a good question. It'd be a very good idea right now, just to flash that scoreboard, get an idea of the spread. Pretty even as well, but with the red team of No Idea probably sticking out, and purples are Ape Squad. So yeah, we've been respecting their fragging prowess so far. It looks as though we have movement on both of these cash outs, but there are teams trying to defend the objectives, in fact. We have one sitting on B and A. This is Mr. Derp, once again, looking to go for that stun gun play on top of the cash out, as he lets the slower teams do the delivering for him.
I think it's a wonderful play. In my games, I don't run into people really kind of playing the objective. Like, it's normally the fighting happens over the vault. So it's interesting to see that.
They've got one on each.
We even haven't seen that.
They've got one on each objective. They're trying to pull it off on both at the same time. And it looks like 5 has come into contention, and he has been stunned.
Oh, there's the zip.
Have they taken it? The zip and the zap, as it happened? It's in. And it looks like, what colour is A right now? It's purple. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out for No Idea this time round, but they might get the other side of things. Meanwhile, in the chaos, this is Pink Squad, this is Holto's Finest that have gotten hold of it and are getting the steal. In fact, there was a steal going on there for the lights, and in fact, it feels like, it looks as though they pulled it off. They managed to get the plug in both. Yeah. What a gambit.
Well, and this is really going to come down to these last 2 cash outs. The scores are so close, and it really could go anyway, because there's $15,000 on the line for each cash out. So this is really tight. It looks like most of the fighting is going to be happening over at B. I do think I see 3 teams heading towards B, so I'm not sure why A is kind of being ignored. But hey, well, power to them.
NTHX coming in. Yeah, NTHX coming into A, looking to engage with Pink team. That is Holto's Finest holding on to this right now, and a clean engagement there. Lamp really not putting up much of a fight against the shotgun, but Brendy is the last one standing. Unfortunately, the rest of the fight hasn't gone Holto's Finest's way. They need to jump back into it. 30 seconds left. Res comes out for NTHX as they try to get this steal on A, but they have to fend off these lights, these pesky wasps just buzzing around the objective. It's not even theirs to defend, but they're causing so much chaos right now. And as it stands, it looks as though Pink and Purple are going to push their way forward, but actually it looks as though No Idea in red have just enough money to keep hold of second place should it remain as it is. Only 8 seconds left. I don't think any steals are going to be stuck right now. The jump pad trolling NTHX, and he gets stuck in a position where he's going to die anyway. Maybe he gets the final kill, but no, not before the timer, so it won't go through. Utter chaos.
Oh, that's so frustrating. Yeah, like I just feel bad for NTHX. Like they're really trying, and I feel like there is just that air of like unpredictability or bad luck even at times. So it's just kind of interesting how this is all playing out because they're such a top tier team, and they just seem to not be having their best day today. But anyway, we do see lots of eliminations, and like I said earlier today, it is shotgun, shotgun, shotgun.
Yeah.
Everybody's using the shotguns. It does take a lot of skill and a lot of kind of precise, shots, and you don't have too many opportunities to kind of land every shot. So it is a very high tier weapon, and we do see why everybody's using it. And there's that play from NTHX where they were able to get the cash out, and again, maybe they just had some good luck on their side on that one, but they weren't able to kind of get it right at the end.
No, so those last 2 cash outs, well, we'll get to see exactly who fell where, because that was such a chaotic round with it coming down to the wire. There were kills, there were steals, and I think we just need to wait to see the scoreboard to see how that panned out, to be quite honest, because that was the hardest one to read at the very end out of all of these games so far. But, I mean, we're just going to have to see. That's all I can say.
Well, No Idea, when we checked the scoreboard, like they were getting some amazing kills. I forget who it was on their team, but had 8 kills when we looked at it about halfway through the match. So there is a chance that even though they finished in second, they might have pulled themselves up to first in that match just based off of the kill points. But we should see here shortly.
And the plays that they're making with the stun guns, it's not just a one and done. That wasn't just a one-time trick for Vegas. They brought it out here to some serious effect, because again, those final 2 volts, they're 22k, you get the plug, that's 7k for you straight off the bat. That they do that twice, 12k, 14k in one go. That's more than the entire first cash out. So playing for that kind of game is going to make a massive difference. You can see it there in their cash tally, second on the board. The placement does determine the overall standings here, as everyone with a pretty even spread of 4 or 5 kill points. And that puts Holto's Finest ahead with 14 points from that game. Again, the 2 teams that are starting to stand out as a cut above the rest here, Holto's Finest and No Idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm amazed that the kill points are so close. 4-5, 4-5. It means that both teams, or all teams, were really fragging each other really well and very kind of close. So we're not seeing one team that's just like a dominating force. I think we pointed out Ape Squad earlier that is kind of leading in the kill points. But in this last match, it was very even. And that's interesting too, because we had 2 cash outs that nobody contested, and just because of where they were on the map. So there was just a lot of fighting happening, and interestingly enough, Holto's Finest came out on top. No Idea just barely below them. But here is the official leaderboard right now, with Holto's Finest at 51, No Idea at 50, and like you said, these are the 2 teams, and they are kind of starting to go a little bit of ways away from Ape Squad and NTHX, but it's still close. Like, this is a nice spread in kind of what you would expect from these teams.
It is very close in that top 2 spot. That is Holto's Finest after that game, jumping No Idea back into first place. They've been trading first and second for a few maps now, but the real question is down the bottom right there. I don't know if NTHX have enough to make it, right? They're 12 points shy of second place now with only 1 game to go. I don't even know if that's mathematically possible. They would need some sort of god game for them to get further ahead right now, because it's not about how much money you end up with at the end of the game. You could end up with the whole 100k at the end, you're still only going to get those 10 points from coming first. They're going to need a lot of kills. So I say right now, NTHX, go play for frags. Get as many kills as you can this last game. It's about your only hope. In the meantime, Ape Squad, a little bit more feasible for them to jump into first or second place, but they haven't been there yet today. So it's starting to even out. We're starting to see some consistency. And really, it's just a question, in my mind, of whether Ape Squad can steal that second spot from No Idea right now.
Yeah. Well, and just want to point out, if anybody watched the last split, we were in this exact same position where I don't remember who the team was, but they were in last, and they basically didn't have any chance of getting the points required to bump up into the spot. So they ended up doing a sledgehammer run, and they won.
Nice.
So
they won.
I think that they won, and I love that. Okay, yeah, they might not make it, but guys have fun. That's what this game is. It is a game at the end of the day, so I'd love to see NTHX just kind of maybe pull off the brakes a little bit and do something different, but we'll see. They're also very competitive players, so I don't know what to expect. I don't think we'll see the craziness, but I think we will see just a lot of good gameplay coming up, and it does look like we're getting started here.
Alright, so we are watching. This is Ape Squad on blue, coming into contention with NTHX in purple on Skyway Stadium. And the heavies come out, the charge and slams come down. Doesn't work out, unfortunately, for them. NTHX Ploppy is the last one standing, it seems, on NTHX, but he's still got more to deal with. He does get taken out. I don't think NTHX have much staying power left. They keep getting these reses, keep getting taken down. They are not wiped yet, but there they go. It was just a matter of time. Am I completely wrong? I am. NTHX won that fight. Ape Squad taken out, but now NTHX have the lights to deal with, but they're dealing with them pretty efficiently. These fly swatters coming out and taking them down. All of these lights on low HP, but Noli is in fact the last one alive. And again, they've gone through a lot of their resources. No defense. This is the heavy that's left up. Gets stunned at range, and he has to deal with two of these guys. Carbon Magma has coined to prevent the complete wipe, but no one has tapped two. In the meantime, of course, it's Hoto's finest on the far side that haven't gotten involved in any of this tomfoolery, and they're already a quarter of the way through the first catch out.
Yeah, I'm amazed that Hoto's finest is able to pull this off time and time again. Like, if I were a competitor, I would hone in on that, and I would just kind of go wherever they're going. I go to a fight now, see anybody from Hoto's finest, I'd leave. I'd go get them, because they're just getting away with the win.
In some ways, it's also a conscious, process from the three teams that are playing. They're like, we don't want to go and fight that squad. We want to try our luck third partying against the other two squads, the weaker sides, especially the ones with the lights in the mix. But at some point, someone's got to go and take Hoto, and just force them to play. It's sad to see in some ways. Either way, meanwhile, while this is going on, 2 is still being fought over. NTHX have not wiped in all this time. They're playing for frags. That's the important thing. They have to be playing for frags. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah, we definitely are seeing them play with that strategy, and I'm amazed. What is happening over here on Vault 2? This is the longest Vault fight. We're already 2.5 minutes in. Cash out A is 75% of the way done, almost, and Vault 2 hasn't even been entered in. So we're going to enter a really interesting area where if this cash out finishes or gets started.
Chucking it miles away as well. Doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Acoustic retired the last light on the side of No Idea right now, and he is taken down. That is the wipe against their name. Of course, there's no money lost or gained for that. So
are they going to take it to A?
Oh, goodness me. This is ridiculous. So they're just giving them the extra money to Pink right now at this point in time. They want Hoto's finest on top. They've gone and stolen it, and they're getting the extra money to start off. So very, very clean play by Hoto's finest. Just watching all that chaos unfold and coming out, 20k ahead because of it.
Yeah. Weird way for it to play out, and I'm glad that it actually did go this way, so we didn't have kind of like a two-tiered cash out where one was happening halfway and another one was getting started.
Sure.
It just makes it where this is a little more even, but look at the chaos that's happening down here. Not even over a vault. The cash outs are finished. We see the team's trying to run and get away. I think Brindy is on his 1 HP, and he's trying to run from Varak, I believe. And it looks like he might have gotten away. So interesting that the combat is happening not around these vaults. They're still just kind of fighting to fight almost in this match.
They really are. Brendy looks like he's on his last legs, and there we go. A wipe against the name of Holto's finest. Takes a bit of their cash total away from them. I don't think anyone's really forcing these objectives right now. They're pretty distant from them. 3 has been tapped and opened and is on the move. These objectives are quite far away as well. But being at the top of the hospital, a wipe. Well, the spawn's going to come in right here for Holto's finest as well. We're in this kind of middle lull period where not much is happening.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we see one vault being opened. Vault 3 hasn't been touched just yet. Or is it on the move? It is on the move, I'm sorry. It does look like it's going to get entered into B, but there are 2 teams here fighting. Sonya So with the shotgun goes down. Maybe got a trade in there. Rack is the last person up on their team. We see Brendy Lamp, all green space, all at low health. B gets started.
Very nice to dodge all the chaos that was going on underneath. Some nice mantles there to get on up and do that.
Yeah.
While the rest of his team actually successfully fought off whoever was fighting them at the time. Purple, that is NTHX obviously chasing this game in last place in the overall standings, trying to contest for 4, but at the moment, Pink squad of Holto's finest getting in there, just trying to get it for themselves. In fact, they want all the money for themselves. They're going to go for the double dip again onto B. And in fact, this time they're doing it early enough that it's going to draw all of the fight in their direction. So we're about to have a 4-team clustercuss.
Yes, this is about to be insanity. But if they are able to get that vault in there, you know, they'll immediately get 30% of it. So it's a great strategy to get it in there, and then if they can defend it, boy, they have got the advantage right away. We do see the C4 going off and drops it, but it looks like he was able to keep it held, but nope, gets interrupted, and the vault steal stops.
The last time we saw a double dip like this, it went the way of the team that had it plugged, but that's not going to be the case right now. Of course, the red team of No Idea have managed to steal it. That is all to steal it. That is all of the lights, in case you're just joining us. Ooh, thankful that that event is still in place, so sometimes it can be blown out of place. And they are not successfully defending, as it still comes through from the blue side. That is Ape Squad managed to ape their way through, and they have maybe about 30 seconds or so to defend it.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, they didn't do the double dip. We have 2 cash outs going, and they are kind of happening, you know, out of sync with each other. So we might see the fight go from B to immediately everybody runs over to C, because there is still time to have another fight. So while there is a lot happening at B, I expected the fighting to move.
Holto's finest are coming over here to fight at B, despite the fact that they are the ones defending C right now. They're just playing greedy, playing a little bit greedy, but you know they want to do something with this time and maybe make a play on it. NTHX are coming in to defend what is not their cash out, as you see some shots draining into the back, but they have to be playing for these frags, going for these third parties. Floppy taken down, and he is brought not back up. There's Magma and Noli are the last 2 around for NTHX, and they're not going to have time for the steal. Unfortunately, that goes the way of Ape Squad, but we do still have another cash out in progress. The white comes out. No, it doesn't. The wipe came out. There it is on to the purple squad of ATHX, and that is not good for them. They need to be winning everything they can in the position they're in right now.
Can we see the scoreboard? Because I think that ATHX has been getting a lot of kills. Like, I've seen Floppy and them.
Oh, wow, they have.
Yeah, they have.
But so have Ape Squad. That's the problem, is that Ape Squad are not pulling their punches either. They are also in a situation where they need to be getting lots of frags and hopefully finishing on the top of this scoreboard at the end of it. But Holto's finest are not making it easy for them with the way they're playing these objectives. The lights have stolen C, which means that they will be back in contention, but that only moves them up into 3rd place on the cash tallies if they do secure this, and it looks like they will. In come all the other squads looking for the fights. Apes and NTHX going for frags, as expected.
Yeah, they're not even going for the cash because there's not enough time, so they are just going for kills. Ooh, and look at that Carbon with the amazing FCAR shot. Great tracking, good mid-air kill. And yeah, this is just utter chaos, and reminds me of a deathmatch, honestly.
Yeah, it does make you wonder whether he should have been running these, you know, this kind of thing earlier, because at the moment, NTHX, yeah, they're doing well with the kills. They're also 2nd in the cash tally. Oh, sorry, not NTHX. Ape Squad right now. They're kind of sticking to their guns. NTHX are seeing a little bit of success here with this kind of frag-heavy approach. But yeah, again, the main winners here are just Holto's finest, as no one really wants to contest them. And 30 seconds left on the timer. I don't think there's going to be another cash out here. I think they're going to hide them.
Yeah, they're right next to each other, so they just need one good team to kind of sneak in there and get something started.
You also won.
We are running down. Yeah. C4 going down on top of it. 13 seconds left.
Wow.
There they are.
That was a nice little nab coming through with the dematerializer in play, but I don't think they managed to carry it. We're just watching coins. Like, how many coin explosions do you want to see? One after another. There's the round over. That was an utter death match at the end. And it is Holto's Finest coming out on top in pink. And I would wager that that puts them at top of the scoreboard, top of the final scoreboard at the end. I do wonder, though, whether Ape Squad or NTHX have done enough, probably Ape Squad, to try and overtake No Idea in that second spot.
No, I think it's Holto's Finest and No Idea. I think that those are the top two. But yeah, we're going to see here shortly.
Yeah.
Because Ape Squad had really had to get a lot of kill points. But yeah, that was a pretty wild scoreboard when we looked at it earlier. We do see the replays going on right now. Here's where it was happening, just death after death.
This is what we expected. Well, we were hoping maybe for triple sledgehammer at one point, but that didn't happen. We did get everyone sticking to their guns, literally, but bringing us a very, very fraggy style of gameplay. And in fact, to be fair, we did see the FCAR come out from Carbon Magma, and he put it to work this game. There's a lot of these highlights we're watching right now are him. It's just a full, reel of Carbon Magma doing some work. So, while NCHX may not have done enough to force themselves through, because I do believe they ended final in the last spot on the leaderboard, on the cash out totals. I don't want to try and do the live maths. I've done live maths before, and Ape Squad, it looked like we got a bit of a flash of the scoreboard, but I think we're going to make sure that those tallies are absolutely perfect before we put them on display, just to make sure, because we don't want to get anything wrong here. The top two teams right now at the end of these 5 cash out games that we've just had are the ones going through to the playoffs, so we have to get it absolutely perfect. And it's going to be Holto's Finest at the top. We can be pretty certain of that with their very admirable cash tally during that game. The question is whether it's No Idea or Ape Squad.
Yeah, I'm just kind of blown away by the last match, and I love the way that the format is this way, that it's not just all of the cash that gets the the points going forward. Because we were able to see such a dynamic map happen. We got to see kind of the gameplay that we don't normally see. When we do the quick cash style, there's 2 teams, and they play really strategically. They play slow, and there's big points of engagement. Here, it was just everybody was like, no, we're just fighting. We are just jumping in here and just exploding, and just it was quite cool to see. But I'm curious to see how the final points kind of all tally out together.
Ooh, No Idea dropping a few points there. That's important, because Ape Squad and NTHX both pushing up the tallies quite considerably, despite the fact that NTHX came so far down in the placement. 8 kill points at the end of the round.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether Ape Squad have done enough there. I think the differential of 4 points was not enough to surpass No Idea. Once we get a look at the overall leaderboard, we will get to see that. And of course, pushing 30 and 223 at the bottom there, you can see in this little banner, they are the teams that are going to be meeting whoever comes top 2 right here, waiting for us in the playoff bracket. I just want to see this next slide. Bring it on up, Stars. Let's see it. All right.
Anticipation. Who made it?
Oh, so
Holto's Finest, No Idea. Oh, Ape Squad, y'all played so well just to be out by just a couple of points. That stings, but overall, the 5 matches we just watched, I think that we can safely say that No Idea and Holto's Finest kind of were the cream of the crop. They were at the top nearly all of those matches. Ape Squad did great. NTHX, I feel bad because I have seen them play so well and just do these great, amazing plays. But No Idea, Holto's Finest, they did great. Interestingly enough, see No Idea really close with the cash total, near Holto's Finest. Holto's Finest got lucky several times with their cash out where they were just kind of uncontested and people just let them get away with it. Really interesting to see this spread here.
Yeah, it was. I think the main takeaway from this is that really objective-based play won for the day, didn't it? We've got the 2 teams that got the least kills coming out on top in this leaderboard,
that's interesting.
Right? Very interesting. So, and it's down to the fact that Holto's Finest, for instance, they had that control-based gameplay that meant that they didn't need to go for kills. They were always on the right objectives, not being contested, whether people were scared of them or whatever it was. They were doing the smart thing. And then No Idea with the triple light setup. Who'd have thought it? Just to get those plugs in, run with that 30% for the deposits. That makes such a massive difference. And especially on like Seoul, where we saw them sitting on objectives for the final 2 volts with stun guns out, ready to steal and plop. It was just so smart and so ratty, and they've managed to make it through off the back of these plays. I'll be interested to see whether they stick with triple light for their upcoming quick cash game modes, the 3 versus 3s. But before that,
I really hope so.
I really hope. I absolutely hope they do. It'd be brilliant. We're going to have a short break so that we can get ready for the second portion of our day, which is going to be the playoffs, the double elimination. We're starting off with the lower bracket semis. We're going to see a nice head-to-head against those 2 sides. No Idea and Holto's Finest up first, so don't go too far.